Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a case that absolutely gripped the entire nation, the disappearance of 22-year-old Gabby Petito and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. We're going to walk through the timeline, the actual facts of their cross-country trip, and that massive criminal investigation that followed. Let's look at the sequence of events and try to understand exactly what happened. Okay, let's dive into this. If you were following them at the time, this was the exact image they projected, right? Absolute social media perfection. A young, happy couple traveling across America, sharing these breathtaking photos, smiling in literally every single post. But behind those carefully filtered pictures was a terrifying reality, one where a partner just doesn't return home, sparking one of the biggest criminal investigations we've seen in recent years. So let's start at the very beginning, the dream trip, back in July 2021. Back then, Gabby and Brian set out with a pretty simple goal: to explore America's national parks. And they documented the journey every step of the way. To everyone watching online, well, their life seemed completely flawless. This meticulous online persona totally deceived thousands of followers who were, living vicariously through their screens. It really set the stage for the tragic shift that was about to happen. But then, things changed. Warning signs. The Utah pivot. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that appearances can be profoundly deceiving. On August 12, 2021, police in Utah responded to a domestic incident involving the couple. The body camera footage actually shows officers speaking with both Gabby and Brian. After those interviews, the officers separated the couple for the night, but they didn't file any criminal charges. Looking back, investigators and the public alike view this specific encounter as a critical warning sign. It was the first real crack in that perfect facade. Which leads us into a much darker, frantic phase, the sudden disappearance, a timeline of mystery. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this sequence of dates is absolutely crucial to understanding how fast everything unfolded. We start at August 12th with that Utah domestic incident. Then, weeks pass with no word. Suddenly, an unexpected twist. On September 1, Brian returns to his parents' home in Florida, completely alone. From there, the timeline accelerates rapidly. On September 11, Gabby's family officially reports her missing, and tragically, by September 19, her remains are discovered.
Now, let's look at the search and tragic discovery, the investigation.
As this story spread like wildfire across television and social media, a massive operation was launched. First, you had search teams from multiple agencies scouring these vast, remote areas of Wyoming. This culminated on September 19 when investigators discovered Gabby's remains, which were later ruled a homicide. But then, the case flipped completely. Brian Laundrie suddenly disappears, sparking a second massive manhunt. Weeks later, investigators eventually found his remains in a Florida nature reserve. And this brilliantly illustrates the final piece of the puzzle. Along with Brian's remains, investigators found something critical: a notebook containing a written admission that he was responsible for Gabby's death. This definitive statement from authorities grounded all that frantic speculation and provided a grim, concrete answer to the mystery that had completely captivated the nation. So, let's take a step back. Zooming out, the broader societal impact. So the crucial point is that this wasn't just a widely followed criminal case. It genuinely shifted conversations across American society. First, it sparked this huge national dialogue about domestic violence awareness and the subtle warning signs we might be missing. Second, it placed heavy scrutiny on missing person investigations and how the media covers them. And finally, it really highlighted the profound gap between social media appearances and real life, showing us how curated images can completely mask a very, very different reality. Which leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? What dark truths might be hiding behind the perfectly filtered photos on our own feeds? The tragic death of Gabby Petito serves as a stark, heartbreaking reminder of the illusion of perfection. Thank you so much for joining me to break down this explainer. Stay safe out there and remember to keep seeking the truth.